So welcome to JG's Fight Talk, sponsored by Cornerstone Boxing Academy. And with me now, I've got Glyn Rhodes. How you doing, Glyn?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you very much. Sorry about the lighting. I'm actually in my car, just going home from the gym. So I apologise for the lighting.
That's all right, mate. If you let go of the bottom of your phone, we can hear you better. That's it, mate.
How's that? Right.
That's it. Perfect. We're getting there. We're getting there. But Glyn,
Good.
thank you very much for stopping in a lay-by and having a chat with us a week before Christmas.
yeah. Stopping in a lay-by. Watch me get arrested.
Let's hope it's in the right one, mate. You don't want you to get you in any trouble.
No, definitely not. But I've just had a thing pop up, close all tabs. So should I close tab?
Just leave it, mate. You'll be fine.
Can you still see me?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Right.
So, Glyn, how did it all start for you in boxing? Well, how old were you when it all began?
Oh, I was 16 years old, and the best thing I ever did, I often say this, I walked into Brendan Ingall's gym at 16, left school, no qualifications, no prospects of any kind, left school with no O levels, A levels. I often say this, the only thing I left school with was no O levels, no A levels, just a spirit level, and that's the only level I left school. So walking into Brendan Ingall's gym was probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, because, well, not long after you had your debut, didn't you? 22nd of the 11th, 1982. I wasn't even born, but I'm not even going to go down that road.
Making me feel old. Thank you.
And that was against Kevin Pritchard.
No, my debut was against a guy called John Lindo, and it was at the Adelphi Hotel in Liverpool. And
John Lindo, sorry. Kevin Pritchard came later on. My apologies.
Much later on.
Much later.
Much later. And by the way, can I tell your viewers, I'm not actually driving.
No, we know you're parked in a lay-by.
Yeah, and I've got the heater on because I'm absolutely Baltic.
Let's rewind. Debut, John Lindo, 14th for the 11th, 1979.
That's the one. Yeah, I think I was 20-year-old.
And like a lot of people say, did you turn pro too early, or did you feel that was the right time for you?
Well, what happened is we were forced into turning professional at Brendan's gym, because what happened is around 1978, I think, Brendan got barred from amateur boxing, from training professionals and the amateurs at the same time, because back in them days, you couldn't train amateurs and pros together. And we had a guy in our gym who, you might have heard of him, Errol Bomber Graham. Brendan was training Errol alongside everybody else, and the ABA, in their wisdom, decided to ban St. Thomas's, and did us all a favour, because what happened then is we all turned pro. Anybody who were capable, Brendan said, look, we can't box amateur no more, and so we all turned pro. Quite a lot of us did, probably, I would imagine about 10 of us all turned pro, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and as I say, what a career you had, Glyn. 65 fights, 33 wins, 5 draws, 20 knockouts. Incredible.
Yeah, and like I said, I travelled all over the place. I boxed abroad, in Italy twice, France twice, Portugal, Ireland twice. So, again, for somebody like myself who were a kid who were hanging around on street corners, to be travelling all over Europe, getting paid, I feel very fortunate to be able to have done that.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people can't turn around and say they've had 65 fights, and you know, especially in this day and age, it's not something that's heard of.
Yeah, it's a lot of fights, and luckily for me, even though I had all them fights, I managed to keep my looks.
I'm not laughing at you, sir.
That's a joke. Right. But No,
I tell you though,
like
Glyn,
I said,
you are tough as
regrets.
nails, mate. You're tough as nails.
Well, anybody who has 65 fights has got to be stupid or tough as nails.
Which one do you put yourself in?
I think I put myself in the category of stupid because that's a lot of fights. I mean, kids these days aren't having 65 fights. I mean, it is a lot of fights. And not only did they have 65 fights, some of the opposition that I boxed with, I boxed some good kids. I boxed some very, very good kids. Didn't always win, or but I did have a lot of good results. But I'm privileged to say that I boxed some very, very good kids in my career. Kids who I think I boxed about 4 or 5 kids who went on to become British champions after I'd boxed them. So yeah, I'm privileged to have done that.
Yeah. And as I got it wrong earlier, I'm going to jump back to it because it was your crowning glory on the 22nd of the 11th, 1982, against Kevin Pritchard when you won by knockout in the 5th for the Central Area lightweight title. What an amazing moment.
Yeah, what makes it more amazing is because that fight was on a Monday. I think it was a Monday. And on the Saturday, I'd got married. And luckily, I caught him with a right uppercut and knocked him out because after the weekend I'd had, after my wedding, I don't think if it had gone any further that I'd have been, I don't think I'd have been capable of doing 10 rounds. I actually broke both my hands in that fight as well. And again, Kevin Pritchard turned out to be a good fighter because he went on to be British super featherweight champion.
Yeah. But the Central Area, though, do you feel doesn't hold the prestige that it used to? A lot of people, that was like a must-have title back in the day, wasn't it? A lot of people fought over those area titles.
Yeah, there's so many Mickey Mouse titles around at the moment. Back in the day, most fighters, people like Clinton Woods, for instance, they won the Central Area title, then moved on to the British title, Commonwealth, European, World. So that was the old route, but that was before all these titles come in. You've got all kinds of titles now.
Intercontinentals and
Kentucky Fried Chicken and everything. So, yeah. It's kind of like, it's good in one sense because guys can be boxing for titles and earning money. So I like that side of it. But it also, it dilutes certain other titles as well. Like I said, back in the day, to box for the Central Area title were quite prestigious.
Yeah. And as I say, I think it's going back down the road now where you're looking at a lot of the English title fights and stuff like that. The Commonwealth, a lot of people are fighting for those a lot more now. And the British, for me, is the must-have. The British is always the prestigious, beautiful title, isn't it?
Yeah, and not only is it the most prestigious title to box for as an Englishman, UK coming from these shows, but the belt, it's the best belt in the world, the Lord Lonsdale belt. It's an unbelievable belt.
Yeah. No, it's stunning. And as you say, what a career from 79 right the way through to 93. Do you feel you went longer than you should have done, or do you feel you left the sport at the right time?
I think I made my debut in 1980. And I think from 1980 up till 81, 82, 83, right up to 93 when I retired, I think I was ready to walk away every year. I thought, I'll either get serious or something else will come along, and it never did. So I wish, a lot of people ask me if I've got any regrets. I can't say I have because, at the moment, I've got a very successful gym. I've done really well out of boxing. I've just got a book out. Everything. I've got no regrets. I've done very, very well from boxing. I've got nothing bad to say about boxing.
Yeah, and can I just say, we've got, for me, a real legend of the sport walks away doing work for young people and the community that he is part of. And to get an MBE for that, I'd tap my hat off to you, Glyn. Someone who's got, a young family and admires what you do for the community, and for you to be rewarded for it, I think you deserve it immensely. So
Yeah, well, one of the things that I always say is, I received the MBE, and there's quite a few people receiving the MBEs. A good friend of mine, Mick from he's just been awarded the MBE. But the saddening thing is, there's lots of people up and down this country who deserve a lot more recognition than what they get. I'm fortunate to have been awarded the MBE. And it's unbelievable. But there are a lot of guys up and down this country who do exactly what I do. Go to the gym 24/7, 365 days a week, and get no recognition. So take my hat off to them guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you've got your book as well. You're not a man of you're not a one-trick pony, are you, Glyn? You got your book out as well, Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, I mean, there's a strange title. The guy, it's very well wrote by Mark Turley. Even though I say so myself, it is very well wrote. It's not. I advise people to read it because it's not what people think. Although it's a boxing book, it touches on other things in the book as well. So, not that I'm trying to sell the book, but if anybody is looking for a Christmas present, buy the book.
He's not selling it, but if you want to buy it, go and get it now.
Exactly. Same day delivery, next day delivery on Amazon.
Cool. I wouldn't promise that at the moment, Glyn.
Oh no, with Christmas, exactly, with Christmas. So, but order it anyway.
Yeah. Honestly, Glyn, as I say, what a career you've had, and just to have someone like yourself on the channel who continually gives to the sport. I know you say you've got a good team around you, and there's a great gym and great staff there, but you've been there and done it, and I think because you've been there and done it, there's a lot of respect to your name of what you've given to the sport, and people want to come to you because they know that you've slogged your guts out and you put your heart on the line for that length of time, and it speaks volume.
Yeah, like I said, I've got a great bunch of guys behind me in the gym who do a lot of work that they never get rewarded for. Obviously, I'm the flag bearer of the gym, but I couldn't do it without some of the guys in the gym. I couldn't do it on my own. So to have guys coming to the gym on a voluntary basis and doing, unpaid work, helping kids, again, that's something else that, I take my hat off to these guys. And there's loads of people up and down the country who do this.
Yeah. So, Glyn, someone I ask from boxers for past and present, your ideal weight, I know you talk, it was more super lightweight, wasn't it? But lightweight was where you won your title.
Yeah, even though I think towards the end of my career, I actually boxed at 11 stone plus. I think my best boxing weight was probably lightweight stroke light welterweight. Although I did box, believe it or not, I did box at featherweight, and I did box at, like I say, light middle. So, but my best weight was lightweight stroke light welterweight.
So, at your peak, should we say, Glyn, at your peak weight, is there any lads that you look at now and you think, I wish I could have had a fight with him?
Oh, listen, I think most fighters do what I'm going to tell you now. I look at fighters now at lightweight, and I don't want to sound like Uncle Albert from Only Fools and Horses when I were in the war and all that. But I look at some of these guys now, and I think, you know what? If I were boxing now, I'd knock these guys out. But that's not. I'm not being derogatory, But most fighters, I suppose you've got fighters throughout history. Muhammad Ali must have looked at Joe Louis and thought, I'll knock him out. And then you got all fighters look at the fighters and think, oh, if I was still around these days, I'd probably beat this guy. It's just what boxers do.
Yeah. And is there any lads or ladies that you particularly like to watch at the moment? Is there any particular fight you really like?
There's no, I can't honestly say I can boxers who are boxing at the moment who I can sit back and watch and really enjoy. There's lots of fighters. There's some good fighters boxing at the moment.
Great generation, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, we're doing all right at the moment. We've got some brilliant fighters. And I'm more of an I could sit and watch the old timers forever. One of the things that I tell the kids in the gym that I never had when I was boxing is we never had YouTube. So when I'm training the
Yeah.
kids in the gym and I try and give them an example of what to do. For instance, last week I was telling them about, slipping the jab and throwing the left hook off it. And I says, you want to watch Jersey Joe Walcott when he knocked out Ezra Charles? He slipped the jab and threw a left hook. So what I can say to the kids in the gym now is, go home, watch Ezra Charles getting knocked out by Jersey Joe Walcott. And it's very helpful as a trainer if you
Yeah.
can fight and
Yeah.
say, for instance, the second Sugar Ray Leonard Roberto Duran fight, what he did compared to what he did. So it's very helpful for trainers these days to use YouTube as a reference. You can say your kids in the gym, look, you can tell them what to do, but if I can say to a kid, right, look, this is what I want you to do when you go home tonight, or not even tonight, because everybody's got iPhones and everything now. Have a look on YouTube at this guy doing this or that guy doing that. So as a boxing trainer, it's very helpful to have YouTube, which is something we never had when I was a kid.
Yeah, definitely. Well, another thing they can do is go on Amazon and buy your book. So job
Exactly.
done.
Exactly. Next day delivery. Yeah.
Glyn, honestly, it's a pleasure having you on, mate. I could chat to you for ages because I know you're a man that's boxing through and through, and
Yeah.
you can tell you still love the game now and want to give back so much. And as I say, I know you've got a great team around you, but hats off to you for your career.
It's been a brilliant career. Like I said,
And it's still giving.
Yeah, even though I've had some really unbelievable highs, in boxing top level with some guys that I've trained, and been around top level guys. I've also had some of the probably biggest lows that a boxing trainer could ever have. Tragedies. I've been involved in certain tragedies, and there has been times, most recently when Scott Westcott died, that you think about walking away from the game. So it's boxing, as the title of the book says, Beyond Good and Evil. I've had so many highs, but I've also had quite a lot of lows as well. So, and that's all in the book, and that's the title of the book, and that's what it is. It's never smooth. It's never plain sailing or smooth. There's always highs and lows, and that's just the boxing game.
Yeah. Well said, Glyn. And as I say, I really appreciate your time and the fact that you pulled over in a lay-by, sat in a car, freezing cold.
Yeah.
Just
Well, I'm not actually freezing cold now because the heater's absolutely lovely.
Well, so I better go before your battery goes flat.
Well, don't worry about that. I'm just sorry that you can't see my face so very well. But as long as you can hear my voice, that's the main thing. And as I said earlier, I can talk boxing forever. Once I get talking about boxing, I can rattle on. So it's my passion. It's what I do 7 days a week. Like I say, it's just gone 8 o'clock and I'm just leaving the gym now. So, and again, I feel very, very fortunate. Obviously, I didn't win no world titles myself, but I've still made boxing, make my life a success. I've got a very good life all through boxing, so I've nothing bad to say about boxing.
Well, and you've also proved that, it's not the end of the road if you do come away from school with not very good qualifications or nothing at all, that you can make something, that you can come away with something. And I think that's important this day and age because a lot of kids have a lot of pressure on them, don't they? And
a lot of kids in our gym, they're not academically very, very good. But, you got to look at my life. I weren't very good at school. I'll tell you now, I'm not very good reading, writing, and that kind of thing. But it doesn't stop you. We're all good at something. You've just got to find out what that is that you're good at. Obviously, for me, I got into boxing. I'm not saying I'm a great boxer, but it helped me become the person I am today. And it helped me become, it's my job. It's what I do. And there's a saying, what's that saying about if you find a job that you enjoy doing, you'll never go to work again. So for the last 20 odd years, I've been doing a job that I enjoy. It's not all been good. There's been lots of sad days and bad days, but generally speaking, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And I wish a lot more boxers, once they retired, I wish they'd stay in the game because this game needs ex-boxers. Boxing, the sad thing that boxing doesn't do for people, it doesn't set you up for retirement. You know, once boxers retire, it's an hard pill to take walking away. And what's that saying? Brighter the spotlight, the harder it is to walk away, and it's true. So I wish more boxers would stay in the game. Passing on the knowledge that they've acquired over the years and years in the game. So that's what I'd like to see, more ex-boxers staying in the game.
Yeah, no, well said, Glyn. And as I say, rush out onto Amazon, people, Beyond Good and Evil, and check out Glyn's record as well. There's some great fights out there to watch, and he's doing some great work down at the guys, down at the gym with all the guys and girls down there as well. Fantastic work, Glyn. I really appreciate your time, and thank you so much for coming on.
That's brilliant. Anytime, give me a call anyway. You've got my number, just give me a call anytime. And we'll try and do it in the daytime next time so you can see this. Yeah.
You take care, Glyn, and get home safe, all right, mate?
Thanks very much. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Take care.
Ta-da. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.